Howdy mathematicians, Mr. Carter here, ready to homelink 5-7. Go ahead and put your name on this. And let's begin. So, today we're subtracting fractions, and we're given a couple number stories here to solve to begin. So let's go ahead and read them. We've got Elijah. He still had 4/5 of his allowance at the end of the month. Then he spent 3/5 of his original allowance on a movie ticket and popcorn. How much of Elijah's allowance is left? So first of all, it's asking us to fill in the whole box. So what's our whole here? Well, our whole is his allowance. So I'm going to write that in Elijah's allowance. Okay, and our number model with our unknown is, so we're going to take the 4/5 that he still had left and subtract 3/5, which is what he spent. So we're going to go 4/5 take away 3/5, and that's going to equal, I'm going to put here A for allowance as our unknown. So how are we going to solve this? Well, one way to solve it is we could just draw a picture. So I'm going to draw a rectangle, okay, with and split into fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so he's got, this would be, the fraction here would represent his whole allowance. So at the end of the month, he still had 4/5 left, which means at the beginning of the month he spent a fifth. So I'm going to just go ahead and cross that out. That's what he spent. So we're left with this 4/5 of his allowance. So that's what we're working with. So now what I'm going to do in a different color is we're going to subtract the 3 that he spent at the movies. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So he's left with 1/5. So our answer would be 1/5 of his allowance. So again, just to recap, this is his whole allowance. We started with 4/5, so I'm going to, like we said, we're going to cross that out that he already spent that at the beginning of the month. He spent 3 more at the movies, which means he's left with 1/5. Let's look down here. We got Kendra, and her computer battery had 9/10 of a charge left. After her sister Lydia borrowed the computer, the battery had 3/10 of a charge left. How much of the battery charge did Lydia use? So our whole here is a full charge. Okay, because we're talking about of the charge here. So a good clue of what your whole is after the fraction is of a whatever, and whatever that whatever is would be your whole. See, if we go back to Elijah, 4/5 of his allowance, so the whole is the allowance. So if you want to look after your fraction and 4/5 of or 9/10 of, that'll give you a clue to what your whole is. So our number model with our unknown is we're going to take the 9/10 that the battery had, and we're going to subtract it with from the 3/10 that was left. That's going to tell us how much did Lydia use. So I'm going to go 9/10 minus 3/10 is C for charge. Now it could also make sense to go like this. So we go, or, I'll put or here. So or you could say, well, it started with 9/10. We're taking away the charge, which we don't know, from when Lydia borrowed it, and then we're left with 3/10. So that would be another way, or another number model with an unknown there. So another way to solve this could be with a number line, and we could do tenths. So we're going to take our number line and split into tenths. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10. Just going to keep on counting here. Okay, so I've got a number line split into tenths, and I'm going to start with and we can count up. So we can go from 3/10 to 9/10, and count how many that we jump. So if we start here at 3/10 and we just count our jumps, we'd see that it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we jumped 6 times, so our answer would be 6/10. You can write it here actually, 6/10. So down here they're just asking you to subtract. Again, with like denominators, all you're doing is subtracting the numerators. So 2 over 2, which is a whole, we know that, take away 1/2. So we'd go 2 take away 1 would be 1/2. 11 take away 4. So 11/6 take away 4/6, sorry about that, is 7/6. Because you're just going 11 take away 4 and your denominators don't change. 5 gets a little bit tricky because we have a whole number and a fifth. But we can take our whole and change it into fifths. So we're going to go 5 over 5 because that equals 1. We know that anytime the numerator and the denominator are the same, it's a whole. So we're going to go 5/5, take away 1/5. And again, all we have to do is just take away our numerator. So 5 take away 1 would be 4. And our denominator stayed the same, so it would be 4/5. All right, let's go down in the practice. So again, it's addition and subtraction review. So we're just I'm going to do it on another piece of paper. I'm going to do 6 and 7 and have you do 8 and 9 on your own. So with 6, I went ahead and stacked those numbers. 6 and 6 is 12, carry the 1. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 3 is 13. 9 plus 1 is also 10, plus 7 is 17, carry the 1. And 8 plus 1 is 9, plus 6 is 15. So our answer is 15,732. So 15,732. And for 6, we are subtracting. Start with our ones place. 5 take away 2 is 3. 3 take away 9, we are not able to do that, so we've got to trade. So we're going to trade over here to our hundreds. Make that a 5. Take that 10 tens that we had, add it to the 3 tens that we already have to make it 13. 13 take away 9 is 4. 5 take away 3 is 2. And 4 take away 2 is also 2. So our answer is 2,243. 2,243. Okay, and that will do it for now. If you have questions, please come see me, and have a good day.